Hello, lovelies. I have been spending the past couple hours trying to get in some final goodbyes with my American mutuals on TikTok. As of midnight, TikTok is being banned. I don't know if that's a blanket ban at the same time, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, or if it's a rolling blanket that goes across the different states and their time zones. At midnight, the cord's plugged, the switch is thrown, whatever. And it's hard. Some of those Americans are friends, and this platform is being taken away from them. I mean, the only good thing about it, in my opinion, is that um, it is showing what their government is about to the American population, and other countries in the West and around the world get to see it. They get to see the inconsistency of the American elite, the American oligarchs, who want to ban TikTok simply because it's a Chinese app, under the pretense that it is sharing data when a lot of the other platforms share so much more data with corporations and foreign powers. Make it that what you will. And that, if it plays out right, can be a good thing. If people's if people in America's class consciousness is raised, and they get to see the class warfare that they are caught in, that's been hidden from them, obfuscated by the ruling class, this could turn things around. Because that is the heart of empire right there. So maybe in the long run this would be good. And a lot of the Americans are who were formerly on TikTok are now on Red Note, right? Um, I can't remember to pronounce it right now. The Chinese name for it. Um, and they're getting to see the lives of Chinese people living their lives in China and being people. What a unique concept. Um, and again, this is probably working to raise class consciousness, and the U.S. government is largely responsible for this awakening of class consciousness that's happening among former YouTube, among former TikTok users who are now finding themselves without their app. Which is, I think, a good thing. At the same time, I get to see some of my fellow Canadians cheering Americans losing access to this app. As if Canadians who look like me, right? Who look like me, have any sort of moral ground or standing to be gloating over Americans losing access to the app. There's not much difference between Canadians and Americans. Not when you get down to the fact of how our countries were formed, who actually owns the land, who's occupying it, our levels of racism and bigotry to persons of color and other minority groups towards women. I mean, we're not as bad because we're not Americans. But it's still a downhill slide. If America's sliding to the bottom, we're following because we follow America. We are partners in U.S. hegemony and imperialism. And we have our own imperialism that we are practicing around the world in our areas of interest, basically our areas that we can exploit people and persons of other nations and their resources. So, yeah, it's interesting. So, U.S. government, first Trump, who started it, and then Biden, who finished it, and then Trump, who maybe might undo it or not. We don't know. You've done a heck of a lot, to put it mildly, towards moving your population to being more radical when it comes to actual human rights, dignity, and how America is behaving around the world towards other people and other nations. Good job. Good job. I commend you. I salute you for being such good soldiers in the struggle of workers' rights, the emancipation of the working class. Thank you oh so much. I know you're doing this. You give us the hard love thing. You're giving this to the Americans, the hard love thing, just to get them to see what's going on, how corrupt you are as a government, so that they'll actually stand up and do something and maybe end U.S. imperialism. Wouldn't that be fun? Wonderful? And maybe that'll cause the same thing to start to happen here in Canada. And the Canadian imperialism will fall down, even though it's much smaller than American. It's there. Wouldn't this be great? And we could end all this Western hegemony thing and maybe start working towards international cooperation and an actual international body of people all working together in our different regions, focusing on where we are to improve things there, while extending a helping hand to people around the world. Why can't we have that? Because we have to have conflict and scarcity and chaos, so a small handful of people can absorb the greatest amount of wealth? I guess so. I guess that's just how it's supposed to be, right? But hey, American government, you're doing great changing people's minds on that. Please keep up the good work. Not that I'm accelerationist, I'm not. But, I mean, even accelerationists have a point sometimes. Well, have yourself a lovely day.